Rowan is famous for having ancient psychic healing powers. And we're talking specifically about Sorbus acuparia. Rowan is sometimes called mountain ash. It isn't, in fact, an ash tree, different plant. This is Rowan. It is said in the Norse tradition that the first woman came from a rowan tree and the first man from an ash tree. So we've got differences there, right? Rowan is in the rose family, and it can live to be 200 years old. So already you're seeing this association with building wisdom, and it grows very quickly. Another one of its attributes that we talk about more on our website, go visit it, whiterabbitinstituteofhealing.com. Rowan grows a lot. It's been growing for thousands of years in Scandinavia and Newfoundland and north parts of Asia and in Scotland, where you can pick the berries to your heart's content. Toxic if you don't freeze them or heat them. But you didn't want to touch the wood unless you were making a sacred object. Absolutely taboo. The trees were associated in the Celtic tradition with Saint Brigid, and she was the patroness of the arts of smiting and spinning and healing and weaving. Traditionally, spindles and spinning wheels were made of rowan wood. And the rowan trees that were planted in stone, near stones and stone circles, were especially powerful, and some of them were even considered to be where the fairies held their celebrations. This deep connection with other worlds and this tree's capacity to be a gateway and a capacity to communicate with the other world, opening up the second sight. The branches were placed above doorways to keep out evil and sorcery. And they were burned on funeral pyres, again as this symbol of life and death. The Druids would burn this wood for their rites, to open up their intuitions, to open up their capacities for divination. They would lay on bark and twig mats that you laid on specifically to heighten your sense of intuition and psyche. Wands were often made of rowan wood. Rowan wine was considered to induce a second sight. And the tree is identified with providing the gift of inspiration. The twigs were even used to divine precious metals. The name Sorbus, the genus name, comes from the Latin meaning service trees. And the European name, acuparia, means to catch a bird. Rowan, the name Rowan is considered to possibly mean becoming red, and deriving from the ancient German word, Rodinian. The name Rowan could also come from the Norse word for rune, which means charm or secret, or runa, which comes from the Sanskrit for magician. And again, magician back in these ancient times, right? Sanskrit is one of the oldest languages. This is how far back this tree was known and engaged. These were like shaman healers. They did more than just, they weren't pulling, scarves out of hats. They were healers and diviners and providing guidance to people. The Scottish word also means red one, and red is considered the most powerful color for fighting, evil and sorcery. In traditional Chinese medicine, Rowan was known to help clear a foggy brain, help open the lungs for deeper breathing and preventing asthma, wheezing. And deeper breathing is the foundation, right? This idea of breathing in heavenly chi. You're not just breathing in oxygen, you're breathing in all the energies of the sacred to move beyond an understanding of this world that is not just material, but that is also mental, emotional, and is also spiritual. So this is a sacred tree with a lot of deep tradition. If you have a question or you want to leave a comment, please do so below. I would love to hear from you. And please join our conversation at information at White Rabbit Institute of Healing, and find out more about Rowan in our Healing Herb session on Rowan. When's it toxic? How do you use it? What can you be using it for? And how can you be inspired?